glad to have you along with us this evening. This is something I do every Wednesday night. It's kind of become a tradition around here, hasn't it? Although I'm not seeing. There we go. All right, my friends, how are you? Nice to have you along with us. And give me a comment, somebody. So there we go. Good evening, Aaron. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. Hello, Craig, my friend. Nice to have you with us this evening as well. Mark, Captain Mark. Mark, I was just going through. I don't have my charter captain's paperwork in yet, but I got to get it in the next week. And I was just going through the final stages of it. Oh my gosh, it's crazy, isn't it? It's just ridiculous the hoops they make you jump through. But you know because you've done it. Jim checking in from Tennessee. Robert, Terry, Chad, Allendale, formerly of Saginaw. Dave Mason with us, of course. Okay, there we go. That's the shot I'm looking for. Pretty close. Pretty close. Here to listen and learn. Well, don't get too excited, George. I don't know. I'll do my best, but I don't know how much learning we're going to do tonight. But we're going to have some fun like we always do. And we're going to give away a Michigan brand ham here. Coming up in just a few minutes as well. Nick Grillo's not with us. It is horrible. Yeah. Jeez, oh, man. And listen, I'm not going to run any charter trips. I can't compete with guys like you and Lance and Captain Jeff Godey. I'm just there to have the license in my back pocket. Hello, Martin. Hello, Carol. Ann Arbor checking in. Put the skis away. Fired up to fish, Linda says. Paul, good evening. How are you? Martin, nice to have you along. 2-month process. Yeah. Anyway, we will be on the water probably fairly soon. Tim says he looks forward to the Wednesday Night Live every week. I appreciate that. There's Captain Todd. Nice to have you along with us as well. My name is Mike Avery. This is the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page. Mike checking in from Lake Havasu, Arizona. Well, we're on the west side, Ryan. Ryan says, I don't think we get your radio station on the west side. Well, let's see. Battle Creek, St. Joe, Holland, Muskegon, Traverse City, Manistee, and Ludington. That's some pretty good coverage on the west side. What kind of a shot is that? Then that changes my Elliot, how are you? Bill says he's very sick with the flu. It's not corona. This whole coronavirus thing is getting a life of its own, isn't it? And it's, I lost one of my shots. What do you know? Well, before too long. What frequency? Ryan, what city are you in? Plus, you can always listen to the podcast version of the show. Let's see here. I want to do another shot. I'll add that shot right there. And boom. Ben Consitis of Michigan. What is it, Ben? Michigan Whitetail Pursuit. Oh, I did a little zoom on the air. Didn't intend to do that. University of Michigan is pretty scary. I see Michigan State canceled all of their in-class classes, and for quite a while. Yeah. Well, Rob, you're up there in Canada. What do you care? You don't have any cases up there yet, do you? No, I'm sure you do. Isn't it nice when you look out the window right now and it's still light out? Time change was wonderful. I am doing very well this evening. Chad, how are you? Danny, nice to have you along with us as well. How are things in your world? Michigan Whitetail Pursuit. Speaking of whitetails, here's my latest project. And it's not really much of a project. All I did was add this little clicker right here, a cricket, to my bow. And what that is supposed to do is help me to get a full draw. Oh, I'm losing my shots again here. Ace, how are you? Dennis of CMU did it as well. Grand Rapids Community College did as well. U of M did as well. See, I didn't know this. All these schools are canceling their classes, their in-person classes. Isn't that crazy? All right, I'm going to try this again, and we'll see what happens. And does that do a zoom, or what does that do? Ice is off the lake. Time to get the boats out, that's for sure. Dave Rose, nice to have you along with us. You were with us this morning. The incredible shrinking Dave Rose. Hey, don't forget, walleye season on the rivers closes Sunday night at midnight. I have not heard anything. You mean the one that Senator Jim Stamas proposed, the bill on baiting? Is that the one you're talking about? I haven't heard a thing. The Outdoor Expo at Macomb Community College canceled this weekend. The Michigan Fly Fishing Show this weekend canceled. Well, you know, there's also two other shows. There is the Deer and Turkey Expo. It's now called the Outdoor Life Field and Stream Expo. That's going on this weekend. And there's a show in Gaylord as well. Don't you think we're getting a little carried away, folks? Don't you think maybe this is just a little bit of hype going on here now? I'm more worried about getting hit by lightning twice and getting sucked into a cloud in a tornado and sent back to Kansas than I am about coronavirus. But the thing that is legitimate is all the results of this. When the stock market crashes, that's for real. When companies can't get their product out of China, that's for real. SCI and Flint is still going on. Todd, I was supposed to be the media person of the year for SCI Flint chapter, and I couldn't go to the dinner because I'm speaking at a church in Lapeer Saturday night. But it was nice to have him ask me anyway. All right, what does that do? I'm still playing around, my friends, with my... Oh, I lost that shot. Now, how can that be? Yeah, the Ultimate Sports Show in Grand Rapids is still on. For how long, though, hey? Yeah, it's just a shame. Back to Kansas. Yeah. You know, like back west to Kansas. Like the Wizard of Oz. Anyway, walleye season closes Saturday night, except for on the Great Lakes. If you're fishing the Great Lakes, you're good to go. What else did I want to talk about? I want to give away a Michigan brand ham tonight as well. Nick Grillo is not along with us. He is vacationing in Florida. Good for you, Nick. So coming up here in a few minutes. In 2 minutes, we will open up the contest, and I will pick the winner. Oh, I just got a message that I'm now live on YouTube. Tom Heriter, how are you, my friend? Congrats for your career in keeping the public safe and also for your many hours spent on MUCC, Michigan United Conservation Clubs. Hello, Tim Binns. How are you this evening? Vesterberg checking in. Jason, nice to have you along with us. Don't hit eject button by mistake. Curtis, nice to have you with us as well. My name is Mike Avery. This is the Mike Avery Outdoors Facebook page, the Mike Avery Outdoors YouTube channel, and the Mike Avery Outdoors Vimeo channel. And I am... playing around still with some of my different camera angles. St. Patty's Day weekend in Clare is still going on. Didn't they just name Jeff Poet as the Grand Marshal for that event? I am pretty sure they did. Airline tickets are extremely low. Plan your spring hunting trip now. We are supposed to go to Key West in 2 weeks. And I'm planning on going. Maybe the airplane will be empty enough that I can get a little bit more room in my seat. Grawn checking in. Jason, how are you? That's nice of you to say, Brad. Cheese, you need to make ham for a sandwich. Yeah, it's time. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to give away another Michigan brand ham. This is part of our ham for the holidays. This is an Easter ham. And because I am also doing the Facebook Live and I am watching the comments here, some really good comments might go by. Do you, Ed? Ed, give me some, Ed from Speedy Blaze, speedyblaze.com. Give me some advice on where to go in Key West. Stephen, there was a time when I would have recommended a Vanguard scope for you, but the Vanguard company has just done a tailspin. They have bottomed out. I cannot recommend Vanguard products anymore. YouTube looks good, Dennis says. Thank you, Ace. I appreciate that. So give me a comment right now if you want to win a Michigan brand ham. We're only going to do it for 3 minutes this time. 3 minutes. If you want to win a Michigan brand ham for Easter, we'll do this every Wednesday night during Lent. Start your comments right now. Why do you want to win a Michigan brand ham for Easter? And why are you the one who should win the Michigan brand ham for Easter? Let's start your comments right now. Why do you want to win a Michigan brand ham? Is that true, Bill? Or are you scamming me, man? Danny'd like to have one for the Johnson family dinner. Michigan brand ham, never had one. Well, Norm, it's about time. Dan says, the best ham ever. Jerry says, I would. WPHM in Port Huron. Thank you, Jeff, for that. Appreciate it. See, Bruce, I know you're going to win it to Shelter House. Yeah. Ham is better than Spam. Yes, I am. You'll let the bunny live and eat the ham. You got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left on the Michigan brand ham for Easter. 2 minutes left. You don't deserve, I don't deserve ham. You hate ham. Change my mind, Michigan brand. Scott, you scammer, you. 1 minute left for the Michigan brand ham. 1 minute. Hi, Lonnie. How are you? Tired of eating fish. Let me win a ham. See, this is the last time I'm going to pick this ham thing because I don't like being the guy who picks the ham. I like it when Nick picks the ham. 15 seconds. 14. 10. You know what's coming. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Get ready. 4, 3, 2, 1. Contest is over. I ran out of wind tonight. I don't have a lot of wind tonight for some reason, although people say I'm always windy. Yeah, Linda. Linda, you saw it coming, didn't you? Tonight, what am I drinking out of my RMEF, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation Yeti? I don't even like to promote Yeti. I think they're overpriced. But when my friends from Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation give me one, I'll use it. Here's who's going to win tonight. Bill Hoffman. Bill Hoffman, the most interesting man in Michigan. Bill Hoffman wins this week's Michigan brand ham because he said he got called a pig at work. I don't know if that's true or not, Bill, but that comment resonated with me. No, that wasn't the longest buzzer ever. My dad was a cop for 35 years, so I have a very soft spot in my heart for law enforcement. And when you said you got called a pig, that you win the ham. So, Bill, send me a private message, please, with your address, and we can send it off to you. All right, I want to try a different shot here. I'm still experimenting with my different shots, guys. Crystal Light and, Rob, this is Crystal Light and water. But as soon as I get off the air, it's going to be Crystal Light and a shot of Maker's Mark. You know I love that. Yeah, Paul is the most interesting in Michigan. That's interesting. Or Bill is the most interesting in Michigan. That's interesting. Dry Tortugas National Park, Sunset Grill and Marathon, Mallory Square, Key West, Hog's Breath Saloon, just to name a few. I heard about Hog's Breath. Hog's Breath, and of course, Sloppy Joe's. We've been to Key West before, but it was on a cruise, just there for a few hours. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? I spared you, but that's the most annoying sound in the world. Same show, different name. What do you mean, Emil? Emil Rousseau from Emil. Did we not have a wonderful Wednesday night live at the Lumberjack here 2 weeks ago? That was our best Wednesday night live ever. We had a full house. The food was wonderful. The company was wonderful. We had some great information, great prizes. And thank you, Emil, for that. The Wharf Bar has a great magician named Frank Everhart. I'm thinking maybe I'll do a little fishing while I'm down there, just so I can write off part of the trip. Okay, Bill, how come you haven't asked me who's on the show this week? Well, thanks for asking. Who is on the show this week? The Outdoor Magazine radio show, which will air on, hey, Jay, how are you? Air on stations across the state this weekend. Our first guest in the show this week is Ed Golder from the DNR. Ed is talking about, let's see if that shot changes enough. I don't think it will. But what I want to do is give myself a shot. Give me just a second here as I play with another shot. We'll add that shot, I think. And we'll see if it added it. It did. Ed Golder from the DNR is on the show this week, and he's talking about, that's a little too tight, zoom out, the Michigan DNR workers who got TB from working in the lab where they test the whitetails. And I asked him, yeah, I think Ross will need a bud when he gets up there. Oh, Bill, thank you. That's what I'm looking for. A couple of the guys I know who are Michigan charter captains don't fish in Key West. So, yes, I would love that. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. And I asked Ed why the DNR sat on that information so long. And he said, well, number one, it wasn't a public health risk. And number two, we wanted to protect the privacy of our employees. I'll leave it at that. Also coming up on this weekend show, a name you might recognize, Jeff Janis. Jeff is a Michigan boy who grew up in Tawas, went to Saginaw Valley State University, got drafted by Cleveland, actually played for Green Bay, and he football, came back home, and he's got himself an auto repair shop and a tire shop in Oscoda. And he also is an avid hunter and angler. And then this week's Ask Avery question is about roadkill. And actually, I want to go into that right now. I think this is a good time to do that. You have seen dead deer on the side of the road, right? And you have wondered why they just lay there and nobody picks them up, right? Well, Tim, is TB a bigger deal than coronavirus? I tell you what, I told you last week I quit drinking Corona beer so I wouldn't get the coronavirus. If they come out, all right, Jerry, thank you. If they come out with a Guinness virus, I'm in trouble. A Guinness virus would be devastating to me. This week's Ask Avery segment, and it was sent in by email, and the guy didn't give his address, or didn't give his name. I just have his email address, so I don't know who to thank for this. But he asked he grew up in Tawas, but his shop is in Oscoda. Yes, Paul. And the shop he used to work in as a kid is in Tawas. He just bought a shop in Oscoda. But you're absolutely correct. And he's into big tires, so maybe you should go see him, Paul. So the question for this week's Ask Avery segment is, I don't know. I'm sorry, I got to put these on. I don't know if you have the answer or would need to ask somebody else like the DNR, but whose responsibility is it in Michigan to pick up dead animals along the roadway? I've seen outdoor shows and news articles from other states where they seem to be removed in a timely manner, but here in Michigan, I see dead animals everywhere. The answer is roadkill of any species is the responsibility of the governmental unit that manages that roadway. So along interstate highways, it would be MDOT. For county roads, it would be the County Road Commission. It's not the DNR. I know you do, Paul. It's not the DNR's responsibility, which I find interesting because think about this. If the DNR claims that deer are their property, the people of the state of Michigan and the DNR's property, when they're alive, why are they no longer the property of the DNR once they're dead? If the DNR wants to claim those animals when they're alive, why don't they claim them when they're dead and have the responsibility to pick them up? I heard a very interesting and funny answer to that yesterday is, well, the DNR owns the souls of those deer. And when the deer dies, the souls pass along to deer heaven. So the DNR is no longer responsible. Oh, that's a good one. The sheriff in Isabella County uses inmates to pick them up. Realistically, logistically, the DNR does not have the manpower to pick those critters up. I don't want conservation officers doing it. I don't want them using their valuable time to pick up roadkill, and the biologists don't have time. So it comes into a staffing situation, a manpower situation. Now, if you hit a deer and you want to claim that animal and take it home, it used to be that the only way you could get a permit was from a conservation officer. These days, any law enforcement officer can issue you a permit to take that road-killed critter, if it's a legal road-killed critter. Like you couldn't hit an eagle and get possession of the eagle. But like, let's say deer. Even easier than that these days, because all you have to do is if you hit something, you call 911, report the accident, and if they have an officer available, they will send that officer out and he can write the report and he can give you authority to take that deer. If they don't have an officer available, the dispatcher will take your information, where it happened, what's your name, probably your driver's license number, the location, all that good stuff, and they can offer you the ability to take that deer as well, because there will then be a record of it. I got you, Stu. I got you. The state, not the DNR, is the overseer of wildlife. However, my point is the DNR manages those deer when they're alive. Why are they no longer responsible for them when they're dead? I did not know you could call the RAP line and have that done. I just said you could call 911, Brad. Just call Central 911. But it went from you had to have a game warden give you authority to take that critter to just call, make a phone call now and you can take it. Anyway, that's what this week's Ask Avery segment is. Coming up in hour number 2 of this week's show, Outdoor Magazine radio show, Mark Romanek of Fishing 411, fishing411.net, joins me to talk about jigging for walleye on the Detroit River, about finer points of trolling as well. And then Todd Grischke. Todd is the assistant chief for the fisheries department of the DNR. And he's talking about MAGGI, the Michigan Arctic Grayling Initiative. They want to bring back grayling to Michigan, and he's confident they'll be able to do it. Now, they're talking about 10 years down the road. Right now, they're looking for the right rivers to do it in, the right conditions. They're now, hey, Ron, how are you? Ron St. Louis, Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. Always nice to have you along with us, Ron. Right now, the Michigan DNR has been going to Alaska to get Arctic grayling eggs from Alaska. They've got them in a hatchery already here in Michigan. And eventually, they will put them in rearing pens in whatever rivers they choose, and they'll rear them right there in the river before they let them go. Actually, it's pretty cool. I like the idea. Then in hour number 3, we're talking turkey with Glenn Duncan of Duncan's Outdoor Shop in Bay City. But what we're talking about is turkey guns, choosing the right turkey gun, the right choke, the right ammo, and more importantly, patterning that turkey shotgun. Too many people, myself included, have gone into the turkey woods without patterning your shotgun, so you don't know what pattern it throws at what distance. And as a result, I have rolled a couple of birds in my past, hit them and rolled them over, but not killed them. These days, I'm hunting with this. And this is going to kill a turkey this spring. And then, okay, I'm going to use this to kill a turkey this spring, or at least try. Then I'm going to Quebec on a surprise bear hunt in May. And then I'm going to go back to Ron St. Louis at Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters in August with this in hand on another bear hunt. Life is good. The bow I'm holding up there, by the way, I was just holding up, is a Predator Recurve Takedown Bow by Hunter's Niche. And the addition I just made is I put a clicker on here. Can you hear this? This is attached to my string, and when I get to full draw, this will click. I put it on as a training tool because I think from watching video of myself shooting, I think I have a tendency to draw short draw, meaning I don't get a full draw before I let the arrow go. It's almost like snap shooting, but not really as good as snap shooting. Well, Chris, if you listen to the first 30 seconds, you didn't have any, or first 20 seconds, you didn't have any video or audio. If you go back and look at the actual video, after 20 seconds, the audio kicked in. You just weren't patient enough, Chris. But hey, I'm not patient either. Have I ever given you the list of what's all involved in renewing your CPL? You have to get yours this month. Well, it used to be, and you're right. Thank you, Nick. And then I'm going back to White River in the wintertime with Pete Jones and try to kill a wolf with my recurve. Now, I know that's not possible. I know it won't happen, but the idea of hunting a wolf with a recurve sounds pretty fun. So yes, I'm going to do that too. And maybe along the way, try to kill a big Michigan white-tailed doe. Though, I could pretty much care less about deer hunting. One of the things I was asking Mark Romanek, hey, Brent, how are you? My fishing reels are pretty much worn out, and it's time for me to replace them all, which is I got off track here. When I renewed mine, I went back into Duncan's and I watched a refresher course on video, and I think that's all there was to it. And then, hey, Chris, I'm just busting your chops. And then Glenn's people filled out a sheet, and we submitted it, and that was it. But that was when the responsibility was at the county level. Now it's back to the state level, so I'm not quite sure. Last time I renewed mine, it was still at the county level. Anyway, one of the questions I asked Mark Romanek about replacing my rods and reels, because Brent, you fished with me before. You know my stuff is, I've kind of worn it out. I really don't want to put the expense into both rods and reels in one season, so I'll probably just buy some new reels. And I was asking Mark what to get. His suggestion is to get 20 series reels for your mono and your braided line, and then 40 series for lead core. With a 7.5 foot rod, I'm probably going to go with 8 foot rods. Most of my rods are 8 foot rods, and I like that. So I'm going to have a little expense upgrading or replacing my fishing gear. Hope to have the Angler Quest in the water here pretty soon. The marina where I keep my boat does not open until April 1st. So I'm a little bit limited there. I don't think I've ever told you folks where you can listen to the podcast version of the radio show. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Hey, Bob, how are you? Good evening. Remind me, Chris, where are you at? You say down here. I'm trying to remember where you're at. I'm ready for turkey season. Matt loves the 20 series from Mono with 7.6 rods, 7.5-foot rods. Jay says, can I give a shout out to McLean County Sportsmen's Association on Facebook? Absolutely. I just did. Hello, Jimmy Diedrich. How are you? Well, that's what Pete was telling me. Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters, who would know, he said it could be possible, Mike, with the right setup and bunker. All right, Bernie, have a good night. I say it's not possible, Ron, knowing that it is indeed possible. But I'm not trying to set myself up for disappointment because I know it's possible, but I also know it's going to be tough. Going to be tough. But man, if you could do it with a recurve, wouldn't that be cool? Linda says her quest is in the driveway now and will be on the water as soon as the ice is out. Here, Linda, at Saginaw Bay, the ice is out. Hello, Jared. How are you this evening? Wanted to let you know where you can listen to the podcast. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com, the Facebook page, which many of you are on right now, the Twitter feed, LinkedIn, our mobile app. Yes, we have a mobile app for your Android or your iPhone. Outdoor range behind it. I bet it's not open to the public, is it, Richard? Hey, Cookie from White River, how are you? Get ready. Ross Elliott's on his way back up. Get ready. Ross is coming. On Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Radio.com. It would be. You know what else would be cool, Ron? Is to shoot a moose with a recurve. Gosh, I have always wanted to kill a moose. But even though your prices are very, very reasonable, for me, a moose hunt is just, it's probably a little bit out of reach. Hey, Scott, how are you? Scott Gatza, who has graciously offered me access to his property this spring to go turkey hunting. Scott was with us 2 weeks ago in West Branch for our Wednesday Night Live at the Lumberjack. Real nice guy. I am blessed to know a lot of nice guys and work with a lot of nice guys, no doubt about it. But here's what I'm thinking right now. I'm not going to go 45 minutes tonight. If you've got a question you want to get in, do it right now, and I'll keep this open for a few more minutes just to see what kind of questions we have. But beyond that, I actually find myself a little bit burned out tonight after, and you might say, Avery, you haven't done anything all day but talk. Well, that's true. I haven't done anything all day but talk and edit some audio and stuff, so it's not like I was really working hard. I spent a great amount of time today working on that stupid charter captain's paperwork. Tomorrow, I have an appointment first thing in the morning to get my skills assessment, my skills evaluation test for my CPR training, which of course is part of the charter captain's class as well. I also have to stop and grab the paperwork for my physical and my drug test. By the way, I passed my drug test. No surprise there. Then I have to document my hours on the water. I have to fill out the application. I have to make copies of all the paperwork. I have to get a notary to sign my signature that I attest to everything being accurate. I have to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, because if not, they'll send it back to you. I have to put a check in there, I think for like $150 or whatever it is, and send it off. I think I would prefer to submit it all electronically, if you could. Do I hunt morels? You know, not really. When I'm out turkey hunting, I keep an eye out for half-hearted, but I don't do it seriously, and I can't see myself hunting morels with a recurve. No. Do I ever squirrel hunt, Matthew says. You know what? I haven't squirrel hunted in years. I used to squirrel hunt. No, I take that back. I took my grandson Carter squirrel hunting last fall. We didn't get anything. We didn't see anything, but it was fun, and it kind of rekindled my interest somewhat in small game hunting. If I could hunt bears, turkey, and walleye fish, I'd be a happy guy. What is my opinion? It's an interesting question, Zach, because I talked with Glenn Duncan about this very topic this morning. What is my opinion on not being able to use a CCW to buy a firearm? It's the background. And the reason it happened is because the FBI, NCIS, NICS, NICS, found out that Michigan and Minnesota weren't doing a very good job in conducting our background checks. And as a result, people were getting handguns that should not have been getting handguns. For example, Glenn told the story of a guy that had a Michigan CPL that had 7 felonies in Texas. Now, how in the world did that get through the process? Because somebody didn't do a good background check. So I don't have a problem with it. I would rather have this system be accurate than have a felon get his hands on a handgun. Ever get any muskie pros on my show? I do, Mike. Primarily, it's early summer, and it's the guys down on Lake St. Clair. Well, I do it twice a year. Early summer on Lake St. Clair, again, and then in the fall, inland fishing for muskies. But it's really not a topic we've covered a lot about. And if that's a passion of yours, I do apologize. You're right, Tim. Hunting with the grandkids is the best. Absolutely the best. Did Vanguard go out of business? Not if you're a photography buff, but if you're in the hunting business, pretty much, they pulled the plug on it. I'll tell you this, Steve. I have never seen a company do an about face as drastically and dramatically as Vanguard did. Now, I've been in this job too long to have a company or something like that break my heart, but it did disappoint me because I had a great relationship with those guys, and I thought they made some great products. And there were great people in the company. But the company was too big. It had interest in a lot of other areas, including photography and such. And the owner one day woke up on the wrong side of the bed and decided she didn't want to be in the outdoor industry anymore, and she just pulled the plug on everything. So I'm not working with them anymore. Michigan Out of Doors isn't working with them anymore. This Southern Boys Outdoors, which was a huge company, they're not working with them anymore. They don't spend any money on the outdoor side of their business at all. So I can't recommend their products because I don't know what the support is going to be, because they used to offer a lifetime guarantee on all their products. And I don't know if that guarantee is still valid, to be honest with you. Again, I've never seen a company do a drastic about face like Vanguard did. And it's a shame because the people who were in there were great people and they were doing a great job. All right, my friends. Well, I exaggerate a little bit, Jason. It wasn't just like that. It was over the period of about 3 months, which really is pretty fast, right? I mean, 3 months from the time everything was going just fine until it was gone. Can we just live off our boats and eat walleye? I would love to, Craig. Maybe eat turkey and bear once in a while. Happy birthday to your daughter, Mandy. Okay, Mandy, are you there? Mandy? All right, Mandy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mandy. Happy birthday to you. Happy 8th birthday, Mandy. Yeah, their products are excellent. They're excellent. At least they were. But I don't know what's going to happen now. The products they used to make and I used to promote were excellent. I stood behind it. I just don't know what's going to happen now. Stu says doesn't have a CPL, doesn't want one. You think Nikon discontinued rifle scopes, but they continue some optics? Paul says, dude, I have the best bear brats. My bear brats were made at Michigan Brand Meat, so I bet you mine are pretty good too. All right, my friends. Have a great night, my friends. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to put a little maker's mark in this. I'm going to chill out, sit back, relax, and have a nice rest of the evening with my wonderful, beautiful wife, Denise. In the meantime, thank you for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live, and I hope you have a great week, and we'll look forward to talking with you next time right here on Wednesday Night Live.